And welcome back to Las Vegas. Inside the Thomas & Mack Center, it's quarterfinal number 4 of the 2021 Air Force Reserve Mountain West Women's Basketball Championships. A 3-6 matchup to wrap up the evening. Colorado State and Boise State. The Rams coming in at 15-5 on the year, led by the Mountain West newcomer of the year, McKenna Hofschild, taking on a Boise State team that has won this tournament 4 times in a row, and 5 out of the last 6, the 8th straight winning season for Gordy Presnell and the Broncos. Nate Kreckman along with Krista Blunk. We get you the starting lineups for Boise State right there. Krista, so much veteran talent graduated off of this team, but led by Jade Lavelle and Mallory McGuire. This is a Broncos squad that can win this tournament again.
They can. 8 freshmen, though, and 2 redshirt freshmen. So they graduated 5 seniors. 4 of those were starters. They had a lot of learning to do this year.
Their freshman point guard, Mary Kay Narrow, second in the Mountain West in assists as well. Gordy Presnell in his 16th season at Boise State. For Colorado State, Ryan Williams, his program has found their swagger once again as the number 3 seed. Tori Williams in the backcourt. She'll be working off the ball with Hofschild as the point guard. Ellie Bonai is a freshman from Spokane Valley, Washington. Laura DeVos, the veteran, the senior from Belgium. And then Carly Murphy, a grad transfer from River Falls, Wisconsin, the 3rd leading rebounder in the Mountain West. Ryan Williams in his 9th season, Colorado State's all-time wins leader. CSU in white, Boise State in black. 3-6 matchup here tonight at the Thomas & Mack Center, and looking for a chance to advance and take on Wyoming, the upset winner over UNLV earlier this evening. Boise State controls the opening tip. And off we go. Our officials tonight, Brenda Pantoja, Anita Ortega, and Kent Johnson. McGuire with it up top. Mark into the paint, a drive and kick. Lavelle steps inside the arc and rattles down that jumper.
Just the 6th made 3-pointer for Jade Lavelle this season, but that one, high arcer, rattled it in. Broncos player to player.
Laura DeVos pulls up from the elbow and answers. 2-2 here in the early going. Laura DeVos, the senior, Mountain West All-Conference this year. And tipped away by Murphy. That entry pass thrown away.
Yeah, too far, not enough angle, and great topside D by Carly Murphy. Got the hand on it.
Wing 3, Bonai doesn't fall. Mark chases it down in the corner. Narrow on the run out. That was ahead to Muse, but they turn it over and it's back to CSU.
Both teams capable and would like to push the tempo. Colorado State, much more of an up-paced tempo kind of team this season.
See Hofschild run it up the floor, and she'll get aggressive, put it on the floor, and draw the foul on McGuire. That's her first and the first team foul on Boise State. McKenna Hofschild, the transfer from Seton Hall, All-Conference, the newcomer of the year here in the league. She'll run the point. Her addition to the squad has allowed Tori Williams to work more off ball. She's a bit more comfortable. And players kind of working their way into position here in Ryan Williams' program. Murphy off the mark on the drive, and then she commits the foul in the backcourt. First team foul on CSU.
That was a great job by Alexis Mark to stand her ground. She took the contact, drawed the foul.
Narrow a drive and kick. Lavelle, corner 3. That's short. Mark dives on the floor, chases down the long rebound. A tie-up, possession arrow going back to Colorado State.
Surprised a little bit by that 3 taken, although Lavelle was all by herself out there, but she's just not known, and the defense sagging off of her, letting her have it.
3rd leading scorer in the Mountain West, Lavelle, with 17 a game. Bonai on the floor, a drive and kick. Baseline jumper, Murphy, no. Rebound to the weak side, and Muse. Mark from the elbow. Too strong. Williams the rebound. The Utah transfer, Tori Williams, ahead to Laura DeVos. In transition, the deuce. And a foul. That's an and one opportunity. And if the foul was on McGuire, that would be 2 on McGuire.
No, I don't believe so. I think it was just that bump at the end, and that was just a silly foul. Muse really, at that point, you got to let it go. But McGuire was not happy, and she called a team huddle quickly.
McGuire, the redshirt senior, the veteran. Lavelle steps inside the arc. Pretty jump shot.
Leads this team in scoring, 17 per game, an All-Mountain West member this year. That pretty lefty stroke.
Jade Lavelle, the daughter of former NFL running back Derek Lavelle. Murphy went up, had it blocked by McGuire. Second shot blocked as well, out of bounds. Consecutive blocks. Mallory McGuire giving Carly Murphy all kinds of problems down in the paint.
Broncos lead the Mountain West in blocks per game. They're 5th in the nation, 6 blocks per game.
Murphy in the corner. 5 on the shot clock. Williams, a spin move, goes up with the left hand, can't finish. Narrow ahead to Mark on the run out. And McGuire goes up, gets contact, no whistle. Back the other way goes CSU. Bonai blocked by McGuire. 3rd block already for Mallory McGuire. Cross-court pass, DeVos, corner 3. That's good. They'll say that's a 2, foot on the line for Laura DeVos.
Boy, there's tempo in the pace. You can see the Broncos already, they look a little bit winded.
Lavelle calls for the screen. Gets it from McGuire. Steps into a jumper, rattles in and out, no good. And a whistle, and going over the back was Bonai. First foul on Ellie Bonai, the freshman from Spokane Valley, Washington. So McGuire and Muse will go to the bench for Gordy Press now. Anna Osley into the game for the first time tonight, as is Elodie Lalott. Osley on the screen from Lalott. Lalott, the fade with the left hand, rims off. Mark the rebound, the putback, up and in.
Second effort, that's what it's going to take. Shots are falling for this Colorado State team. And if you're the Broncos, got to be scrappy, got to get it some other way.
DeVos gets to the rim, drives, dishes. Clark doesn't get it to fall.
DeVos should have just taken that up. She was so deep into the paint.
They'll throw it back outside and reset now. Boise State, as a team, shooting 42% from the field so far this season. Backdoor cut, Osley to Mark, no, but another offensive rebound. Again, you talk about second effort opportunities here for Boise State. Lavelle had her pass deflected and stolen by Williams.
Great job, Callie Clark, hands up, and it got the tip and got the steal.
Williams in rhythm, steps into it, put it up short. Back comes Mary Kay Narrow, the freshman from Oregon. Lavelle pulls up when she has her feet underneath her. That is as pure of a jump shot as you will see in this conference.
Well, it certainly is. 6 points for her, 3 of 5 shooting.
17 a game this season for Lavelle, 3rd leading scorer in the Mountain West, trailing both Haley and Hannah Cavender. Bonai, the drive, too strong off the glass, just couldn't get it to go. Bronco ball up 2. Lavelle again, she likes that spot. And she got hit on the arm. Jade Lavelle will be at the line when we come back. A timeout on the floor. Boise State 8, Colorado State 6. Under 4 minutes to go, first quarter. quarterfinals here in Las Vegas. Boise State up 2. Jade Lavelle's been the story thus far. 3 of 5 from the field. She has 6 points. Laura DeVos 6 for Colorado State in an 8-6 game. Boise State and CSU here in the 3-6 matchup. Out of the media timeout, under 4 to go, first quarter. These two teams in the regular season matched up, Krista, back in January, and CSU swept Boise State. Didn't just sweep them, beat them by 20 and 22 respectively in the 2 games.
Yep, late in January. And the Rams, since then, they went on a little bit of a skid. They lost their last 3 in a row coming into the tournament. But looks like they've regrouped. And now some full court pressure, 2-2-1 by the Broncos.
Colorado State able to break the press. Petra Farkas into the game out of the timeout. Callie Clark on the floor. Jamie Benarins in for CSU. Substitutions here for Ryan Williams. And that's Benarins to Clark. Check that Farkas to Clark. Pretty drive and dish.
Yeah, Farkas, draw the 2 defenders. Somebody's open, dish it across.
3 on the way from the wing. A little strong from Kimora Sykes. Tie up on the floor. No, I believe we may have had an elbow on the baseline. We did, out on CSU. So Osley will inbound now for Boise State with 15 on the shot clock. Lavelle in rhythm off the inbound. Pure. Lavelle now with 9. And Boise State a 3-point lead at 11-8. Off shield, kicks it back out. Clark, pump fake, goes hard to the rim, too strong. Back comes Anna Osley, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona. Lavelle unable to connect that time. Lavelle has taken 7 shots so far in this game. Farkas from 2-point range. Back to a 1-point game.
Great energy player, just brings it, just kind of a team, all-team energy kind of player. There's a pretty stroke by Osley.
Off the dribble, Anna Osley has been averaging 8 points a game here over the last 4. In fact, that is her 11th 3 in the last 5 games. Tori Williams, the answer. Catch and shoot in rhythm.
35% 3-point shooter is Tori Williams, the transfer out of Utah. You said it last year, had to play more point guard and is now more of a shooting guard spot, and it's definitely to her favor.
Lavelle lost it, got it back. They feed it inside of the post. Bowers can't get it to go. Hofschild, newcomer of the year, the Seton Hall transfer, drives and kicks. Farkas thought about the 3, gives it to Williams instead. Back-to-back triples, Tori Williams.
She had a record-tying 8 3-point made game in the very first game of the season. She can light it up.
Williams now with 6. Lavelle misses, but an offensive rebound in the stick back. Kimora Sykes, the redshirt freshman, part of this youth movement at Boise State.
I love that second effort. That's just pure effort. Redshirted last year.
Williams again. Why not? 3 in a row. Tori Williams on fire.
Alexis Mark got caught up in the screen. She got turned around and she knew it. And when she started to come out at Tori Williams, she knew, uh-oh. That was a miscue on the defense.
Osley backs it out. About a 5-second difference, game and shot clock. Osley steps inside the arc, high arcer. Doesn't draw any iron. 10 seconds to go now in the quarter. Off-shield handoff to Williams. Williams steps into a three. That one gets nothing, and that brings us to the end of the break. Story of this first quarter, Tori Williams for Colorado State. 3 for 4 from downtown for 9. Jade Lavelle with 9 for Boise State. Rams by 3. And we'll take a break, take a seat, and we'll be back for the second quarter next. Coming into this game here tonight, Tori Williams led the Mountain West Conference in three-pointers made with 53 so far on the year. 3 right there in the first quarter, and Colorado State up by 3 as we head here to the second. But Krista, Tori Williams really feeling it right now from downtown.
Boy, she certainly is, and for Colorado State, they've hit 4 of their last 5 shots. And Williams, the big instigator of it all.
Yeah, Williams with 9, Lavelle with 9 for Boise State. Those two have combined for 18. Every other single player in this game combined for 17 in the first quarter. So it's been the Tori Williams and Jade Lavelle show. Nice swing pass, McGuire over to Sykes, but she couldn't get it to fall. Mallory McGuire, the redshirt senior and the transfer from Oregon. And Krista, she's a big body, but she plays away from the basket an awful lot. An excellent three-point shooter.
Yep.
And there's an excellent three-point shooter. That's Laura DeVos, all conference for CSU. And now DeVos has 9 points in this game.
DeVos has really increased her three-point shooting this season. Coming into this one, had 17 made threes. 3 total years prior, 19 total. So it's an area that she's improved upon.
Tori Williams. Oh, she puts it on the floor. Had a chance to step into the three. Penetrates instead, but she threw it away.
Yeah, one too many dribbles. The defense able to collapse in on her.
Narrow off the screen from McGuire. And DeVos had good position on McGuire. Williams pass stolen by Osley. 2-on-1. Osley steps into a three. And it comes up short. Jade Lavelle and Christina Gill. Lavelle returns. This is Gill's first appearance, a freshman from Barcelona. Averaging 8 minutes a game this season. Off-shield, drive and kick. DeVos, pump fake, puts it on the floor, steps inside the arc. Too strong, Lavelle the rebound. You know, Krista, we talk about the youth on this Boise State team. They have won this tournament 4 years in a row. Led by Riley Lupfer, Brady Hodgins, Ashanti Coleman, Jade Christopher. All 4 of those players now playing professionally overseas. Lupfer and Hodgins playing in Germany.
Yeah, there's been some really impressive talent that's come through the last several years for Gordy Presnell, and there was a time frame. You know, he's in his 16th season as the head coach at Boise State, but they had this incredibly terrible string of knee injuries to just group after group after group, and then finally they were able to just put it together and put a string of win streaks together.
Lavelle, pass deflected by Murphy. McGuire able to tap it over to Lavelle, who feeds Muse. Nice look by Lavelle, but that was set up by the heads-up play by McGuire.
Yeah, it definitely was. Quick passing, the tip and the save by McGuire.
Sydney Mack now into the game for CSU, and her pass is stolen by Narrow, and a whistle and a foul on Hofschild. It's the first on Hofschild. Lupfer and Hodgins are both over in Germany playing in the Damen Basketball Bundesliga. They're not teammates. They're now opponents as they were in high school in Washington State. Ashanti Coleman was last year's tournament MVP. Jade Christopher, that excellent point guard. They're both in Sweden, so professional talent for that Boise State squad. They won 4 in a row and 5 out of the last 6. 5-time tournament champs. Gordy Presnell has done such a good job of that program. Bonai can't get it to go inside. Lavelle out on the break. 2-foot jump stop off the window and in.
Lavelle with some emotion. She's feeling it. She's been aggressive and looking for her shot from the get-go. A little flex to the empty stands.
Feeling herself a little bit. That foul was on Tori Williams. That's her first. Narrow gets the rebound off the Lavelle miss, but couldn't get that to fall. Back comes CSU. Williams in rhythm will put it on the floor. And a kick ball. CSU basketball with 24 on the shot clock. One more note on this Boise State program. Gordy Presnell in his 16th season. Earlier this year, his 700th career win against Nevada at Extra Mile Arena. 308 at Boise State. He won more than that even in his 18 years at Seattle Pacific.
Yeah, definitely quite the career that he's continuing to accumulate. And Mountain West Coach of the Year in 2019 season. Oh, you could see that. She was lined right up with us.
Yeah, step back from Lavelle, and she gives Boise State the lead. Lavelle now with 11. She's 5 of 10 from the field. Check that, 13 for Lavelle. Bonai looking for DeVos on the backdoor cut, and it was deflected and stolen by Gill, the freshman, given good minutes right now.
8-0 run for Boise, and now they've got the lead. And some defensive plays, creating some offensive opportunities.
McGuire back to the basket, turns and scores with the right hand on the pivot. 10-0 run, Boise State.
Oh, that's a tough shot. I love watching her play. She's got great hands. Ooh.
And Hofschild and DeVos not on the same page. Throws it into the scorer's table. And we got a timeout on the floor. Boise State on a 10-0 run. They lead it by 4 here in the second. .444 left here, second quarter. Jade Lavelle with 13 now in this basketball game to lead all scorers. A 10-0 run by Boise State. And Lavelle has done it via the pass. She has done it via this beautiful drive and bank. And really, there's been no answer thus far tonight for Jade Lavelle.
Well, she has such incredible confidence. You know, she's coming out and she's the leading scorer, and she knows they need her to do that. But she's also got an assist and a rebound, and she's doing other things as well.
She's been hot, averaging 22 a game here over the last 6 coming into the tournament. She appears to be well on her way to those kind of numbers once again here tonight. She scored 40 back on February 10th at UNLV. Lavelle with the shot clock winding down. Can't connect that time. Narrow, the offensive rebound, goes back in, scores, and flexes. Mary Kay Narrow down amongst the trees with contact.
Love the emotion. Second in the conference in assists per game for the freshman point guard. And apparently the flex is back in, Nate, because we have seen it a lot throughout this quarterfinal.
Narrow's free throw makes it a 13-0 run now, and the lead is ballooned to 7, biggest of the game for Boise State. CSU 0 for their last 4 from the field. Ryan Williams looking for an answer from anywhere.
Zone falling back are the Broncos after the 2-2-1 applied full court.
Now 0 for their last 5. The scoring drought has gone past 5 minutes for CSU.
Well, the Rams started this game and they were clicking. Everything was going right and going their way.
Marks puts it on the floor. Back up top, McGuire. couldn't handle it. Williams, backdoor cut. Farkas to Clark, but she's short with the left hand.
It was a great cut by Farkas. She probably should have just taken it up. One too many passes.
Double dribble called on Lavelle, and she just got caught in a moment of indecision. Turned it back over to Colorado State. 3-6 matchup. Our third quarterfinal winner of this game will get the 7th seed Wyoming. Wyoming, the upset over UNLV earlier tonight. They set a Mountain West record with 15 threes to get that victory in advance. And finally, Colorado State snaps a 6-minute scoring drought on the putback by Murphy. Desperately needed bucket and back to a 5-point game.
And her first points of the game, and she averages 11 a game. Need her to get going.
Murphy the rebound. Williams a lob ahead to Benairens. Nice look by Tori Williams.
Transfer from Cameron University, redshirt senior. Now this is the pace though that favors Colorado State.
Narrow rebounded her own miss. Back to Lavelle. Misses from the elbow. Farkas the rebound. Colorado State could tie on this possession with a 3 with 2 minutes left here in the half. And they do just that. Corner 3 up and in from Benairens.
46% three-point shooter behind the arc, and she sticks it.
7-0 run Colorado State. They made their last 3 from the field. Now Boise State hasn't scored in over 2 minutes.
Oh.
Fade away by Mark, and we get the wedge job. Basketball taking a break with 1:40 left. And we will get the custodial staff on that. And thus far this evening, the mop crew 0 for 1.
So 5 made threes for Colorado State, just 1 for Boise State. They're not a big three-point shooting team.
Lavelle misses on the inbound. She's cooled off here in the last few minutes. Benairens had a chance to step into a 3. She'll put it on the floor instead and get contact and a foul. First team foul of the quarter on Boise State. Foul was on Alexis Mark.
So a quarter of runs back and forth from both teams.
And another quick foul that's on Narrow on the reach in.
She was trying to stop herself, just nothing she could do.
So CSU has answered Boise, a 13-0 run by the Broncos. They've answered it with a 7-0 run of their own. Tied now at 29. Sydney Mack catch and shoot. That one doesn't go. Back come the Broncos. Narrow over to Lavelle. Leading all scores with 13. So strong with that left hand. And drops it off to Bowers, who connects from 2-point range, and Boise State back on top.
It's kind of a line drive shot from Bowers, but the Broncos will take it.
Inside a minute now left here in the first half. Quarterfinal number 4 of the day. And they called a foul on the floor. Foul's on Lavelle. That's Lavelle's first and the 3rd team foul here on Boise State. Benairens off the inbound. Pump fake, put it on the floor. Well, Farkas had it blocked by Mark, and Lavelle comes away with it. Leading shot blocking team in the Mountain West, Boise State. Shot clock nearly matched up exactly with the game clock. Broncos can run it down if they want to. Narrow will dribble out to the circle. Osley for three. Got it right at the end of the half. Anna Osley, the triple. And Boise State goes to the break, up 5, 34-29. Excellent last possession for Boise State. Jade Lavelle leading the way with 13. And the Broncos up 5 as we have reached the half. And the halftime show is up next.
Colorado State and Boise State right now, an upset brewing as the Broncos have the Rams by 5, 34-29. Hi everybody, I'm Jesse Kurtz of the Mountain West Network here at the Thomas and Mack Center, and maybe this shouldn't come as any surprise. Boise State has been unbeatable in this venue, on this court, in this setting. Haven't lost in over 1,800 days. The four-time defending champions right now halfway home to a ticket punched to the semifinals. Well, of course, it has been an unbelievable and unforgettable and unimaginable season of Mountain West women's basketball. But there have been some unbelievable performances and unforgettable players along the way. Here's a look at those players and Coach of the Year awards.
The Player of the Year in the Mountain West is Haley Cavender from Fresno State. The Bulldogs guard averaged 19.9 points and 7.7 rebounds per game, and ranked in the top 6 in the league in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals. Cavender, who is the first sophomore to win the award since the 2003-2004 season, is the only player in the Mountain West to rank in the top 4 in points per game and rebounds per game. The Defensive Player of the Year for a second consecutive season is Bailey Thomas from UNLV. The Lady Rebels senior recorded at least one steal in 14 of 18 conference games, helping UNLV limit opponents to under 31% shooting from three-point range. Thomas, who played a full 40 minutes in 7 of 18 games, ranks second in the Mountain West in minutes per game. The Newcomer of the Year is McKenna Hofschild from Colorado State. The sophomore transfer from Seton Hall started all 20 games for the Rams this season, averaging 13.9 points and 5.6 assists per game. Hofschild, who is the first Ram to be named Mountain West Newcomer of the Year, ranks 18th nationally in assists per game and 22nd in total assists. The sixth Player of the Year is Latasia Duff from New Mexico. The Lobo Jr. averaged 16.6 points per game while pulling down 3.5 rebounds and 2.1 assists per contest. Duff helped lead New Mexico to its first Mountain West women's basketball regular season title in 16 years. The Freshman of the Year is Desiree Young from UNLV. The Las Vegas native led all freshmen in the conference with 12.7 points and 6.9 rebounds per game, and tied for the overall Mountain West lead in double-doubles with 4 in conference play. Young, who scored a pair of game-winning baskets in Mountain West play, finished the regular season leading the Lady Rebels, shooting 50% from the floor. The Coach of the Year is Lindy LaRock from UNLV. After leading the Lady Rebels to a 13-5 record in Mountain West play and the number 2 seed for the 2021 Air Force Reserve Mountain West Women's Basketball Tournament. Leading the nation's 6th youngest roster, the Lady Rebels recorded the second most wins in a Mountain West season in program history. LaRock won the second most games of any first-year head coaches in the country, becoming the first Mountain West Coach of the Year winner in Lady Rebels history.
Congratulations to all the winners. Of course, McKenna Hofschild on the court right now for Colorado State, but they got some work to do the Rams to come back as they trail Boise State by 5 here at halftime at the Thomas and Mack Center, 34-29. More to come, stats, highlights, and more on this halftime report right after this on the Mountain West Network. Now, during the regular season, Colorado State owned Boise State, a pair of 20-plus point wins, one of 20, one of 22, but a different story so far halfway through this one. Boise State in the quarterfinals of the championship tournament leads Colorado State by a count of 34-29. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half, packed with all kinds of all-conference players. including Jade Lavelle from Boise State. Boy, can she ever score the basketball with a hand in her face. She had 13 points, leads all scorers. Not to be done by Laura DeVos, also an all-conference performer from the outside. And then the bucket on the inside with the layup. And Jade Lavelle, though, just continued to roll, 6 of 14 in the first half. Tori Williams, though, boy, did she ever catch fire in this one. Hit not one, not two, but she hit 3 straight three-pointers for the Rams. The Rams had a lead 19-16 in this ballgame. 9 points for Tori Williams, the sharpshooter from outside for the Rams. Back, though, would come Boise State in a major way. Christina Gill hit one shot. There it is in the first half. She has 2 points. Abby Muse also had 2 points right there. The Broncos were on a 13-0 run to retake the lead. And, of course, Jade Lavelle getting mixed up as well. Mallory McGuire, nice post move inside. The right hand gets the go. And Carly Murphy and company, though, for Colorado State. How about that? The offensive rebound and the putback. Carly Murphy has 4 rebounds and 2 points in this. Jamie Bonairens on the fast break layup. Colorado State would inch closer. Bonairens also a three-pointer. She has 5 points at the break for the Rams. But right before the break, Osley, the three-pointer, part of her 6-point effort, and Boise State leads by 5 here at the break. Your stats, as you see right there, rebounding, tipping in favor of those Broncos, some of those second chance points. 3-pointers, of course, in Colorado State, thanks to Tori Williams, the sharpshooter for Colorado State. Some advanced stats to take a look at, courtesy of Shot Tracker. Each one of these ladies wearing a tracking device so we can see where they're hitting shots from, where they're missing from, give us a better idea. Boise State has hit many shots all over the court. They're not a bad job, 15 of 39 from the floor, 2 of 7 from three-point range. As for the Rams, as we saw, they relied on the three-point shot, courtesy of Tori Williams. They do have 5 three-pointers, shooting very well from beyond the arc, 5 of 9. But they have some work to do if they want to punch their ticket to the semifinals. We already have 3 teams in the semifinals. That'd be New Mexico, Fresno State, the upstart Cowgirls of Wyoming, who upset UNLV. Who will join them? Will it be Colorado State or Boise State? We'll use the second half to decide that one. Want to remind you, of course, we all know it's definitely not the same without our great fans here at the Thomas & Mack Center, but we're committed to giving you the best seats you possibly can and feel a part of the 2021 Air Force Reserve Mountain West Tournament. Make sure you're participating in the virtual game day experience. You can enter the Mountain West Hoops second screen experience by logging on to mountainwesthoops.com or on your smartphone or on your computer. You can watch games, participate in fans polls, trivia, and chat with fellow fans. Mountain West Hoops second screen experience is available for all tournament games. For more information, visit mountainwesthoops.com. We got a second half coming your way. Should be a good one between Colorado State and Boise State. We'll take you courtside with Nate Kreckman and Krista Blunk right after this timeout on the Mountain West Network.
Getting set to get this third quarter underway here at the Thomas & Mack. Nate Kreckman and Krista Blunk courtside here in Las Vegas. Boise State a 34-29 lead on Colorado State. Jade Lavelle leading all scorers with 13 points for Boise State. The Broncos in that opening half shooting 38.5% from the field. Colorado State finds themselves down 5. Tori Williams, Laura DeVos with 9 points apiece here so far for CSU. But Krista, the Rams have a little bit of work to do, and they got to find an answer for Jade Lavelle.
Yeah, they definitely do. The defense has to find a way to slow her down if they can. And luckily, though, for the Rams, she's really been the only one to do a lot of damage. The hustle plays, second chance points, O-boards, points off turnovers, that's going to the Broncos. But it's the three-point ball that's really helped Colorado State out. Making those 5 threes really got them right back in this.
Both Ryan Williams and Gordy Presnell going back to their starting fives to get this second half underway. Hoffschild with the basketball for CSU. DeVos, Williams, Murphy, as well as Bonai, the 5 on the floor here for Colorado State. Murphy backs in on McGuire, kicks to Bonai, swing pass DeVos for 3, and she hit it. The extra pass by Bonai to the open Laura DeVos, the corner triple, and DeVos in double figures with 12.
That's how you break down the zone. Quick passing, they couldn't adjust.
Ball deflected. Bonai tried to save it, but she stepped out of bounds. Boise State ball, 20 on the shot clock. Lavelle feeds it into McGuire. Gets it back, steps inside the arc, jumper short. McGuire only 2 points in that first half. She played 13 minutes. But McGuire's been quiet. Like you said, it's been pretty much Lavelle, and that's it for Boise State.
Well, and I think that they should establish Mallory McGuire more. She's only taken 2 shots.
Tori Williams hasn't hit since the first quarter. McGuire right on cue, steps into a 3 and drills it.
38% three-point shooter. No hesitation there.
McGuire, the transfer from Oregon, played 75 games in her 2 seasons at Oregon. Leads the Mountain West in rebounding, second in the Mountain West in field goal rate. DeVos, another corner 3 and an answer. Laura DeVos, back-to-back threes now for Colorado State. She has 15. All conference. Laura DeVos, the senior from Belgium. Lavelle spins on Williams. Mark the offensive rebound. The putback, no. Bonai had position, pulls down the rebound. 2-on-1 the other way. Bonai to DeVos in rhythm. Laura DeVos, the last 8 points for CSU. And they've taken a 37-35 lead.
DeVos, not a flashy player, just gets it done. A senior out of Belgium, you know, last year just played in 16 games, had a lower leg injury. She was averaging about 7 points per game. And so they missed her some last year.
McGuire back out Lavelle. Excellent ball movement. Boise State leads to a wide open layup for Mark.
Breaking down that zone. You got to find movement away from the ball, and they find the gaps. Good job by Mark. Player to player by the Broncos.
Williams drives on Lavelle and draws the foul. That's the second on Lavelle. Shooting foul, Tori Williams, 76% free throw shooter. She'll go to the stripe.
Yeah, swinging the arms that time. And Amos, Tori just getting into her, leaning in, but Lavelle, got to keep those arms straight up.
Tori Williams was first team all-freshman in the Pac-12 3 years ago at Utah. Now a redshirt junior at Colorado State. And she's really found a comfort level since McKenna Hoffschild transferred in to Fort Collins. Benaren's back now for Colorado State. And nice footwork there from Alexis Mark. She's got 6 now.
I like the play of this freshman. She's aggressive.
Benaren's pump fake went right by McGuire. But back comes Boise State. Osley up off the bench, gets into the lane, had it blocked by Bonai, and Bonai comes away with it. Now Hofschild the other way, 3-on-2 to DeVos in transition. Laura DeVos has been red hot in this third quarter. She now has a game-high 19. Narrow, the turnaround and the soft touch, got it to roll. Really good pace to this game. Both teams look really comfortable in rhythm offensively.
Yeah, they definitely, it's going to come down to one little thing in a game like this.
Benaren's misses. Big stop there for Boise State. Broncos 40% from the field here tonight. McGuire to Mark. Great pass. Just couldn't finish. Now Hofschild ahead to DeVos. Whips it out to Benaren's. Back to DeVos. Corner three. Short. She follows her shot. Gets the rebound. The putback, no. Gets it again. And then gets it to fall. Laura DeVos, 21 points.
And well above her average of 12 per game.
DeVos had just 9 at the break. We got a 1-point game.
Mismatch down low.
And Lavelle on the drive had a block from behind, but she was fouled. Substitution, Rachel Bowers now returns. Alexis Mark will take a seat. Foul was on DeVos, first on Laura DeVos. Callie Clark now back for Colorado State. Jamie Benaren's takes a seat. And Lavelle gets the first free throw to go, an 87% free throw shooter, tops on this team. 2 for 2 that time. And Lavelle, for the basketball game, is 3 of 5 at the line. Laura DeVos, 12 points in the quarter.
She's up to 21 coming into this one. She's going to take another one.
And hit another one. Laura DeVos can't miss. She's got 24, 15 in the quarter.
Nate, she's just 3 points away from her 1,000th career point.
And a whistle and a foul on the floor. That's on Colorado State, Boise State ball when we come back. Laura DeVos has Colorado State back in it and tied at 45 here in the third quarter at the Thomas and Mack. .45 all, Laura DeVos, 15 points in this third quarter, and we still have 4.5 minutes left. She is 6 of 8 from the field here in the third. She has a game-high 24 points. She is 3 of 4 from behind the arc. We are tied at 45, but Laura DeVos has been the story here since halftime.
Well, she certainly has, and so if you're Gordy Presnell and the Boise State Broncos, you say, where's 35? Stay on her.
Quick pause, quick clock issue, and now we'll go back to work with Mary Kay Narrow to trigger it in now for Boise State. Valerie McGuire gets called for traveling, shuffled her feet before she put it on the floor, turns it back over to CSU.
Yeah, Colorado State's playing overplayed defense, and so she knew the defender was a little bit behind her, but got to put that ball down first.
And you see Rachel Bowers flashing out, trying to not give DeVos any space. Instead, it's Clark from the baseline. But she misses. Lavelle the other way, gets to the rim and finishes. Lavelle now with 17.
That was a good read. Defense coming out, but the lane's open to her left, takes it in good.
DeVos again from the elbow. Everything falling for Laura DeVos. 17 now in the quarter.
999 career points for Laura DeVos.
So we're on 1,000 watch. Bowers line drive jump shot, no. Ahead to DeVos, why not? Drives baseline. Kicks it to Bonai. Extra pass now to Williams. Calls for the screen and the foul away from the ball. Oh, wow, they're going to call that on McGuire. Battling with Clark, but they'll hit Mallory with that foul. That's her second. So McGuire fouled Callie Clark away from the ball. CSU ball now, 47 all. DeVos puts it on the floor. Finally missed one. Murphy had a hand on it, but Boise State comes away with the basketball. Oh, Lavelle off the crossover. That looked good, doesn't fall. Williams the rebound and ahead to Hofschild. Colorado State pushes the pace. Farkas in rhythm, picks and pops. CSU now back on top at 49-47. Bowers the answer in the turnaround. We're tied back up at 49. Hofschild gets into the lane, gets called for traveling, and just got out of control right there. McKenna Hofschild, leading scorer for CSU, still has not scored in this game, although she hasn't taken a single shot. 2 rebounds and an assist, but a quiet night so far for McKenna Hofschild.
Yeah, others making up the difference. DeVos in particular.
Lavelle thought about the corner three. Again, not a big three-point shooter as Lavelle. As good a shooter as she is, she does most of her damage inside the arc. There's Mark on an up and under move. That was pretty, nothing but net. Alexis Mark knocks that down. And Mark's got 8.
I'm impressed with Alexis Mark, part of the all-defensive team.
Lavelle up on Williams, gets it to DeVos. And they're doubling Laura DeVos right now.
Yeah, good idea.
Farkas steps inside the arc. Jumper doesn't connect. And a nice job, Tori Williams, to take the charge.
Yeah, Alexis Mark had dished it off. Tori Williams just standing there, and Mark couldn't stop herself.
Second foul on Mark. Approaching the 1-minute mark here of the third. CSU can tie or take the lead here on this possession. Williams, a hesitation move in the drive, but just can't get it to go.
She had Lavelle beaten, but could not finish.
Narrow the miss. Murphy the rebound. And right away, Mark steps out on DeVos. Again, 17 this quarter for Laura DeVos. A point away from 1,000 for her career. Feeds Murphy on the screen and roll. Murphy spins into the lane, had it blocked by Bowers, got it back, puts it up, no. And Mark had position on DeVos for the rebound. Shot clock turned off. Nair will walk it up. Boise State the basketball in a 2-point lead. Oh, Osley, nice crossover, got space, but missed. And that brings us to the end of the third. What a third quarter. Laura DeVos, 17 in the quarter, but her Rams trail Boise State by 2, 51-49. Fourth quarter next here in Las Vegas at the Thomas and Mack. About to get this fourth quarter going. Boise State up 2 on Colorado State, 51-49 here at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Nate Kreckman and Krista Blunt courtside here with you. It'll be Boise State ball to begin the quarter. CSU only 3 free throw attempts in this game so far.
Yeah.
Boise State has done a lot of damage, or at least more damage than CSU at the line. Narrow the lob down low, trying to find Mark. It was knocked away, but the deflection goes out on the Rams. So Boise State ball with 21 on the shot clock. Inbound to Lavelle. They love that inbounds play. The catch and shoot in rhythm for Jade Lavelle, and she's got 19 to lead the Broncos.
And at the other end, Laura DeVos, a new career high. She has 26 points. She had 25 against San Diego State earlier this season.
She scored 17 in that third quarter. And McKenna Hofschild's first bucket of the game comes in the opening minute of the fourth quarter to get CSU back within 2.
How good are you feeling if your leading scorer just scores and you're only down 2?
Osley, a step back 3 is good. High arcing Anna Osley, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona.
I mean, that high arcing shot, she gives that ball such an incredible chance of going in every time.
Osley's got 9. Hofschild into the paint. Not that time. Narrow ahead to Mark. Lavelle on the break, off the window and good. Lavelle's got 21. Timeout CSU. A 7-2 run to open up this fourth quarter, and the Broncos up 7 as we have a timeout on the floor. Out of the timeout, it's Colorado State ball. A 7-2 run to open up this fourth quarter by Boise State. They lead right now by 7. Jade Lavelle, off that last jumper, now has 21 as she is the only Bronco in double figures. For CSU, DeVos with 26. That's a new career high. Tori Williams, 10 points, 8 assists so far here for CSU. Backdoor to Bonai, beautiful, and there's Bonai's first bucket.
You were just saying she had not scored yet. The overplay D leaves those backdoor cuts wide open.
Excellent play out of the timeout, drawn up by Ryan Williams and his staff. Lavelle to Mark, pivots, but can't get that one to go. Now Hofschild pushes it up the floor for Colorado State. Williams has not hit from the field since the first quarter when she hit those 3 threes. There's Hofschild on a drive and a difficult follow. She wanted the and one.
Hofschild says, what do I got to do to get that foul call at 5-5 going in?
Hofschild all conference, the Mountain West newcomer of the year from Seton Hall. 4 points here tonight, all 4 coming so far here in this fourth quarter. Lavelle, the pull-up off the crossover, no. Narrow, the rebound, the putback, no, but she got fouled. And we'll get free throws for Mary Kay Narrow.
Perfect positioning by Mary Kay Narrow on that weak side. The shot from Lavelle. Lavelle's shot is so pretty. It just glides up, but there's no rotation on it. It's just, it's a very interesting shot.
In terms of elbow form and just being perfectly aligned.
Yes. Yeah.
With the left side of her body, it doesn't get any better than that at any level of basketball.
Just floats and glides right up there.
Foul was on McKenna Hofschild, her second for CSU. We're back to a 4-point game. 2.5 minutes now into this fourth quarter. Again, CSU swept the regular season series, winning both games by 20 up in Boise. And Benaren's puts it on the deck, goes to the rack, and draws the foul.
But as you know, Nate, this is a whole new season when you get into tournament play.
I mean, that was back in January. It feels like a lifetime ago.
It sure does.
CSU dealt with a 3-week hiatus in February, and they're just 1-3 since that little break. Lost 3 in a row, 1 at Air Force, and then 2 at home against New Mexico. Lobos, of course, in the semifinal against Fresno State. Wyoming awaits the winner of this one. Lavelle, catch and shoot, got that to go. Jade Lavelle now with 23. Back to a 6-point lead now for the Broncos. Lavelle trying not to give DeVos any space. Benaren's a drive, a pump fake, puts it up and in.
Good read by Jamie Benaren's. She read that. She knew she had the D beaten just enough to muscle her way up.
Muse hands it off now for Lavelle. She'll pull up off the dribble, and that one falls. Lavelle with 25. Off shield to Bonai in the backdoor cut. Nice look in the finish for Bonai. She's got 4. And we're back to a 4-point game.
Yeah, Lavelle saying, my bad. Boy, she was up too high and couldn't recover.
Colorado State needs a stop here with 6 minutes to go. Muse off the handoff from Lavelle, rattles it in. The assist for Lavelle, that's her 3rd. Off shield into the corner, DeVos. DeVos hasn't taken a shot so far here in the 4th quarter after scoring 17 in the 3rd. And Hofschild lost her balance and turned it over. 6-point game, dangerous time here for CSU. On the break, Muse finishes. And Boise State grows the lead to 8. 5:22 to go. Boise State up on Colorado State. Everybody hitting here in this 4th quarter. Boise State 7 of 9 from the field here in the 4th. CSU not so bad themselves, 5 of 6. But Boise State has outscored CSU 16-10 here in the 4th, and they lead it by 8, 67-59.
Well, both teams are reading the defense, seeing what the other's giving them, and that was a beautiful play, the high-low, and just not stopping the movement. You got to keep moving, finding the openings, and good communication. DeVos had such a hot hand earlier, and they haven't gone to her as of late.
It was a good look for Benaren's. Couldn't get that to fall. Here comes Boise State. Chance to balloon this lead to double figures. McGuire works out top. Mark, a spin move. But a tie up and the possession arrow going back to Colorado State. Good defense there. Down low from CSU, and Williams will inbound it for Hofschild. Benaren's catch and shoot 3. Front iron no good. Mark the rebound. Quick shot on that possession for Colorado State.
Well, you just read my mind. It was a little too quick, I thought. She wasn't completely open.
Lavelle, the hesitation, the crossover, the step back. Not that time. McGuire the rebound, though. Bounces into the Boise State bench. Out on CSU. Boise State ball side out of bounds. Jamie Bonai. Check that, Ellie Bonai back into the game, excuse me.
McGuire trying to post up DeVos, and I think Lavelle was looking at McGuire to see if she could get it to her. Meanwhile, the defender reaches right in. It's Benaren's. Broncos got to recognize 10 on the shot clock.
McGuire goes right down on DeVos, throws to the opposite corner, Narrow, and Narrow got fouled. Foul was on Hofschild. That's 3 now on Hofschild. Shooting foul for Mary Kay Narrow, the freshman point guard from Beaverton, Oregon. She had a program record, 16 assists, February 18th at Utah State. second in the conference in assists this year, but over the last 6 games, averaging 8 per. Today she's got 5, 6 points, 7 rebounds. She's 2 of 3 at the line. Off on the first, but Mary Kay Narrow has been filling up the stat sheet. And Krista, you talk about the next wave, the next generation of talent coming into this program for Gordy Presnell at Boise State, and Mary Kay Narrow is going to be a big part of this future.
Yeah, she certainly is. You know, she's had to fill some big shoes. Jade Christopher, an incredible assist player for this team, but it's not easy to go in that first year at this high level and just pick up and be the point guard. She's done an exceptional job.
DeVos hasn't scored yet in the 4th. Cross-court pass, Bonai. Catch and shoot 3. Yeah, that's no good.
Nate, DeVos goes from being so aggressive and just every single time down looking for a shot, and now trying to dish it off more. I say go for it. She only needs 1 point for her 1,000th career point.
3.5 minutes now to go. Lavelle goes up strong. I think that foul was on Williams. No, they called it on Benaren's. Could have been either one of them, really.
Yeah, I thought Williams was reaching in.
Lavelle's got 25 so far here tonight. I think they're going to take a look at this one. Just see if they assign that foul correctly.
To me, it definitely could have been the 2 options. And I saw Williams kind of reaching at the last minute. It's just a matter of, I guess, when did they blow the whistle and who was it that they were looking at exactly?
I mean, it's not of great consequence. Williams and Benaren's, neither is in foul trouble here.
Yeah, they would only be the second personal in either one.
So a 2-shot foul now for Lavelle. Lavelle's got 25 here today. Her season high and career high was 40 on February 10th here in Vegas against UNLV.
Something about playing here she likes, I guess.
10-point game, 69-59. Bonai working on McGuire, and she swipes it away. Mallory McGuire, so tough defensively.
Yeah, she's really a no-nonsense defender. Like, no, you are not driving straight down this lane and thinking that you're just going to go past me.
And we got a 30-second timeout called. 3:16 to go.
Well, I think this is a good timeout by Ryan Williams. I think this is a, 3:16 remaining. You're down 10. You need something out of not only this possession, but then you got to make some other things happen. We'll see if he throws in some full court pressure. We'll see if he changes things up defensively as well. And I think they've got to get DeVos going again. She's been really quiet the last several possessions down.
Took 10 shots in the 3rd quarter. She has not attempted a field goal here in the 4th.
I just have to say, just keep feeding her until her arm falls off.
DeVos has a game high 26, matching Lavelle with 26. And a nice play off the inbounds, and the drive. Bonai curls into the lane and finishes, and we're back to an 8-point game.
Or you use DeVos as a decoy, which also works.
Now for Colorado State, can they get stops? Boise State has already scored 18 here in the quarter. Lavelle, the feed to Mark. The high-low and the cutter. Mark finishes. Alexis Mark now in double figures with 10. She's the only other Bronco in double figures besides Lavelle. Tori Williams the answer the other way. 2.5 to go now in a 10-point game.
Mark and Lavelle have a great combination, good communication.
Ten-point game. Boise State content to drain the shot clock, and you always should when you got Jade Lavelle who can get into the paint and finish like that. Lavelle a game high 28.
Oh.
Williams put it on the floor, got clobbered by Lavelle. third foul on Jade Lavelle. That will get Williams back at the line. 2 minutes to go in a 10-point game, but Colorado State needs to dial up the urgency.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get scores, then you got to get stops. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some full court pressure after this free throw.
Williams, a 76% free throw shooter on the season, just 1 of 2 today. For the game, Colorado State, this is only their 6th free throw they've attempted. And we'll have a pause as there's a clock issue, as our shot clock has gone blank. So both teams getting an added bonus timeout here while this clock issue is tended to here at the Thomas and Mack Center.
So 2 minutes exactly. And Williams has been solid. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, I don't know if she can get it done, but she's maybe thinking about a triple-double situation here. But they need more scoring, and they've got to get some stops.
And again, the story here in this fourth quarter, DeVos hadn't taken a shot, 26 in the game. She scored 17 in the third quarter, but they have not been able to get her going here in the fourth. DeVos and Lavelle with 26 points apiece. And this is one of those spots where, you know, a clock malfunction is almost to the advantage of these coaches and an opportunity to kind of get a free timeout.
Well, and especially Colorado State with the deficit here. I mean, it's time to rest. It's time to really go over your options.
And like you talked about, Williams will take this second free throw. You assume they'll go right to a full court pressure. And down 10 with 2 minutes to play, they're going to have to go to the foul game.
Yeah, they need some takeaways, and then they've got to score.
Winner of this game will get Wyoming tomorrow night in the semifinals. The Cowgirls, a 72-56 win over UNLV. In our last game, Wyoming hit a Mountain West tournament record 15 threes in that victory. Our other semifinal set, that's New Mexico, Fresno State. We went chalk on the other side of the bracket. The regular season champs New Mexico, a 16-point win over Air Force earlier today. Latacia Duff going for 14. And then Fresno State blew out Nevada 70-46. Haley Cavender, the player of the year, had 17 in that one. So a 1-4 matchup in the top side of the bracket. Wyoming, the upset on UNLV, and right now Boise State, I mean, we'll call this an upset as the lower seed, as the 6 seed beating the 3 seed. But we know how evenly matched these two squads were coming in.
Both of these teams defeated Wyoming twice in the season. They were, on both sides, very close games all the way around. So whoever moves on from this one, it's going to be a good one. Do not be fooled by the number 7 in front of Wyoming's name, because they are playing some really good ball. It's all about putting it together at the right time, and they seem to be.
Yeah, story of this tournament so far has been Gerald Mattinson's team. They beat Utah State last night by 28. And really, they did the damage in the paint in that game, and then they come out tonight against the Lady Rebels, hit 15 threes. Quinn Weideman, Tommy Olson, McKinley Bradshaw, all fantastic in that game, and a 16-point win. So we continue to effort this clock malfunction here at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Nothing like 2 minutes left in game number 4 out of 4 to get a nice break and extend our time this evening here at the Thomas and Mack. And really, I mean, you look over right now at the Boise State huddle, and a couple of their players just trying to hop around and stay loose a little bit right now. You don't want to end up out of rhythm at this point of the game.
And I can see the crews working, and it looks like they're potentially bringing out some portable ones at the edge of the court. So those will be down low, but got to do what you got to do to finish this one up, and hope they can get it all fixed by tomorrow for the semifinal rounds.
Game number 1 coming up tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Game 2 at 7:30. So plenty of time, and that gives an opportunity for these teams to rest up for the semifinals. Recapping this game, Jade Lavelle leading all scorers with 28 points. Alexis Mark, the other Bronco, in double figures here with 10. For the game, Boise State shooting 46% from the field. For CSU, DeVos leading the way with 26. We talked about it. She scored 17 in the third. Williams in double figures with 13. What's been surprising for Colorado State, McKenna Hofschild, their all-conference guard, only taking 3 shots. She's got 4 points, along with 2 rebounds and 2 assists.
And Gordy Presnell just kind of doing some laps around the team, trying to stay awake here. And, you know, this is the last thing they wanted. His team was on fire. They were shooting so well and playing so well. He wants that clock to keep going. And, hey, they've got the clock going up high, so good deal by this crew here, working hard to get that fixed.
Talked about Presnell in his 34-year career, over 700 career wins now, 704 to be exact. There was a great piece in the Idaho Statesman talking about Presnell, his start at Seattle Pacific, years of driving the van, the chains and the snow tires.
You got to do it all sometimes.
Mountain passes as a coach.
It's great.
He was working overnights while coaching that program to pay the bills, and went on to Boise State, and he has built this into a powerhouse West Coast program.
Yeah, really something. And 18 seasons at Seattle Pacific, Division II program, 2-time Division II Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year.
So our clocks are turned on. That's the good news.
Do they work? Is
the other question. It appears as though the game ops crew, I'm not positive, but it could be possible they have an instruction manual out.
Well, they brought down, they found a new board.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different than the other one, so got to make sure we know how to use it.
All right, 2nd and 2 free throws coming up now for Tori Williams. 73-64. Second free throw good. Hofschild back for Mack. And we'll let you know if the clock begins to tick and if everything's in good working order. And we got a whistle and a foul on Boise State on the inbound.
And that's the 5th. On Hofschild. She can't believe it. She just literally checked in, walked over, and they called the foul on her.
Yeah, that's 5 on Hofschild, and she fouls out.
And the clock is working. Now full court pressure by the Rams.
McGuire over to Mark. Minute 45 to go in an 8-point game. Mack up on Narrow.
Rams aren't going to foul. They're just going to try to play it straight up.
7 on the shot clock. Mark misses from 2, and CSU gets the stop they needed. They'll have to work quickly inside 90 seconds. Tori Williams, 3 off the dribble, no. Osley the rebound. Let's see if CSU fouls. Osley into the front court. Still no foul by Colorado State. And Lavelle is finally fouled by Williams, but they let 13 seconds bleed off the shot clock.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I thought they were maybe going to try for a trap on the one corner. If they didn't get that, then they go for the foul. They tried for a couple of steals and let it go.
Gordy Presnell will send Kimora Sykes into the game. Mallory McGuire sits down. The second foul on Williams. Free throws now for Lavelle. Jade Lavelle, 87% free throw shooter this season. And the one thing she has not done efficiently is shoot from the line. Now just 5 of 9. She's missed 4 free throws in this game, but she's got a game-high 29. DeVos, step-back 3. Her first shot of this fourth quarter doesn't hit anything. Boy, Laura DeVos just got out of rhythm here and out of sorts in this fourth quarter after that outstanding third.
Wow, an incredible third quarter, and just the mindset, it was head down. Every time the ball's in my hands, I'm going to shoot it, and now that's the first attempt that we've seen from her.
Yeah.
And she's sitting at 999 career points. And somehow they've got to get her the ball.
Presnell calls this timeout. Mallory McGuire is going to get back into the game now. Boise State has four-peated at this tournament, winning it in 17, 18, 19, and last year in 20. Of course, last year did not include a trip to the NCAAW tournament as the event was wiped out by the COVID-19 pandemic. So an opportunity, an unfinished business here for Boise State as the 6th seed. Trying to finish this out, get back to the semifinals, and a chance at an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Hard to believe, you know, a year ago, not knowing what the pandemic was going to become, not knowing what COVID-19 really meant at this point, and so many things changed.
Yeah. Last year, the Mountain West tournament was actually a week earlier than it typically is.
Yes.
So you had Boise State win on the women's side, Utah State, a dramatic win over San Diego State, the buzzer beater by Sam Merrill.
The overtime win for these Broncos against Fresno State in that final.
Unbelievable finish in that game last year. And another stop for Boise State. And a foul in the backcourt as they foul Osley, but a 10-point game with 35 seconds left.
So 4 seniors on this Colorado State team. Will be interesting to see what seniors come back throughout the conference, really, with this kind of a gimme season. How many teams will have spots available for those seniors to come back? As coaches, you know, the unknowns still recruiting, and it's going to be a very interesting year next year to see what happens with everybody.
Osley 1 for 2. The lead 11. 30 seconds left in this one. Tori Williams a step back 3. Osley the rebound, and they foul her in the backcourt. Boise State with 25 seconds left, poised for their 13th consecutive Mountain West tournament win and their 5th straight semifinal. Boy, 8 straight winning seasons at Boise State for Gordy Presnell. They were 13-8 this year. Just an excellent job with this program. The freshman Anna Osley, a dead-eye shooter. She is really impressed here tonight. A lot of poise for a freshman. DeVos still on the 1,000-point track, but she turned it over. Mark got fouled in the backcourt with 18 seconds to go.
Oh, that's a player that I'm really impressed with, Alexis Mark, a freshman from Chatsworth, California. I like her aggressive play. I like how she just keeps going. She's constantly moving.
Only player in the Mountain West to rank top 10 in blocks and steals. They put her on the all-defensive team. Remember the all-freshman team as well.
Well, they list her at 6'2", but she plays as fast and as quick as just a long guard. I mean, she can play in multiple positions. If they don't let DeVos go up and have a layup here, I don't know what I'm going to do.
DeVos a handoff. Williams had it blocked by Lavelle. Got it over to Osley. She'll hand it off to Lavelle, and Colorado State won't foul. 78-65, the final here tonight at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, behind 29 points from Jade Lavelle. The 6th seed Broncos do what they do here at the Mountain West tournament. They will go back to the semifinal, and they will get the 7th seed Wyoming coming up tomorrow night. For CSU, their season comes to a close, 15-6, a great turnaround for Ryan Williams' Rams. but they will make the early exit from the Mountain West tournament, led by 26 points from Laura DeVos and 14 from Tori Williams. But the story tonight, Jade Lavelle, Alexis Mark, and Boise State. They win it by 13, and they'll be in the semifinals tomorrow night. And that'll do it for us here this evening at the Thomas & Mack. For everybody back in the truck, for my partner, Chris DeBlanc, my name is Nate Kreckman saying so long for now. Jesse Kurtz will have your post-game show coming up next. Boise State moving on to the semis.
You're watching the 2021 Mountain West Basketball Championships post-game show live from Las Vegas. Presented by the Air Force Reserve. Continue your education, receive college tuition assistance, student loan payback, and high-level job skills training. To start your adventure, visit afreserve.com today.
Make it 13 in a row. Boise State has now won 13 straight here at the Thomas & Mack Center at the Mountain West Championship Tournament. The latest win as the Broncos advancing to the 2021 Air Force Reserve Mountain West Women's Basketball Championship semifinals, where they'll face Wyoming tomorrow night. They beat Colorado State 78-65 thanks to a fantastic fourth quarter by the Broncos. Let's head down courtside and join Bridget Howard, who's standing by with the head coach. Bridget.
Coach, winning in this tournament seems to be second nature to you at this point, but Colorado State was not going down without a fight tonight, and that fourth quarter was where you guys really just sealed the deal. What impressed you the most about your team's performance tonight?
I thought our kids had great will. You know, we have fatigue down the stretch, and those guys beat us by about 24 and 22 at our place. But our kids had great will and no let up, and then we got some easy baskets down the stretch of the game that gave us some confidence.
You guys have a pretty young team this year with 3 freshman starters. How important is it heading into this tournament to have the experience of Jade Lavelle, Mallory McGuire, to lead those young kids during this time?
Well, you know, Jade was a big part of winning this thing last year, especially in the championship game, which kind of took over down the stretch. So she's been there, Mal's been there, Rachel's been there. And then, you know, all those seniors that left that put a video together and showed it to our team how important this is. And that was Friday. So it paid off today.
Wyoming swept you guys this season, and as you look ahead to play them tomorrow, what's going to be the difference maker to, you know, get you past them tomorrow?
You know, the most important thing is that we just have to have fresh legs, and I know they've had fresh legs. They've only had a game or two in about a month, and so they control pace. They do a really good job. They're very, very well coached, and so it'll be a new challenge. We're going to look forward to just kind of celebrating tonight, and then we'll get after them tomorrow.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Up next, we've got Jade Lavelle. Jade, you are no stranger to success at this tournament, and we talked with Coach about how important it is to have that leadership on this team. How important is it, just from a player perspective and kind of the way you look at it, leading these young players in their first tournament?
Yeah, it's definitely a vital part of the game. And coming into this year, I kind of had to switch roles. Last year, I was coming off the bench. This year, I'm starting, and I'm having to lead 10 other freshmen. And so with the help of Mallory and Rachel, we've been able to, you know, coach up the freshmen, and they've really stepped into the role of just coming here and going all out. So shout out to them.
You scored 29 points tonight, and you shot the ball 25 times. So, I mean, how much confidence do you have in your shot right now?
I have a lot of confidence. A lot of work went into it. I have the trust of my coaches, and so those two parts going into it, I like to have a good mental going up with every shot.
A team that swept you in the regular season by nearly 20 points each game. How much confidence does this win give you heading into tomorrow's game against Wyoming?
A lot of confidence, one game at a time. I mean, it's another opportunity. Colorado got us at home, and so we came out here, turned that around, and I don't doubt that we can do that tomorrow as well.
Well, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Jesse?
All right, thank you, Bridget, and joined here by Nate Kreckman, just called the game. Nate, this is no surprise. We've been here before. You come to expect success no matter where Boise State is coming from, and boy, they really showed some veteran coaching there. They know how to close out a game. They did that in the fourth quarter.
I mean, 13 in a row, and yeah, Jade Lavelle, the veteran, able to kind of bring this one home. Alexis Mark, the freshman, was fantastic. Nothing but poise out of Boise State really down the stretch in this game. They had that nice run, but they played a fourth-quarter game. I felt like Colorado State had that great third quarter from DeVos, but then they weren't able to carry it into the fourth. Credit to Gordy Presnell and Boise State. Even with a young squad, you can just tell how comfortable they are this time of year.
Yeah, you mentioned that fourth quarter, and Laura DeVos, who had a fantastic third quarter, I believe 17 points, held scoreless. You talk about total lockdown on a star player. Lavelle goes for 12 in the fourth quarter. That's where the tipping point really came, them being able to lock down on DeVos, because she was on fire in that third quarter.
Unbelievable. She went for 17 in the quarter. She had 26, but then she finished with 26. Yeah, they kind of changed the matchup a little bit. Lavelle was with her. They doubled her a couple of times and really just kind of stemmed the tide with what DeVos was able to do. Lavelle closed it out. She was fantastic there tonight. Boise State, but contributions all over. Narrow, the point guard, Mary Kay Narrow, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists in this game. We got a big bucket from Abby Muse in transition there in that fourth quarter. She was 3 of 4 from the field, and this was all coming on a night where Mallory McGuire pretty quiet offensively. So contributions maybe from a couple of unexpected places for Boise State in the lineup, and then Lavelle just she filled it up all night long. That is as pure of a jump shot as you were going to see, and hey, credit to Jade Lavelle bringing back the art of the mid-range. I can't wait to see the shot chart.
Really elevates with the shot. You mentioned the Mallory McGuire with just 5 points, maybe quiet when it comes to but the Broncos scored a bunch of points in the paint. They were very good at getting those easy buckets, whether it be in transition or pounding it down low. There you see a little scrum for the ball, and all they do, you look down low and you find an open player, and you're able to get it to go. And offensive rebounds, those were big as well.
Yeah, Mary Kay Narrow, she is tough. I mean, not a real big body in the freshman, but she will go down into the paint. Alexis Mark is always on the right part of the floor. Her and Lavelle have such excellent chemistry between the two of them. You see it again right there. Mark, just a really, really impressive player. She was terrific tonight. And for Jade Lavelle, just too much. Too smooth, and this is Boise State doing what they do in March.
Yeah, underrated right there with the passing from Lavelle. Yes, she did put up 25 shots, but great looks down low. Marks is a player that certainly was in contention for Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West, and that chemistry, it seems like they know exactly what each other is doing before they do it, and it led to some big moments for the Broncos. Let's go ahead and take a look at the shot charts from Stat Tracker. Jade Lavelle, she put up a bunch of shots, 25, a lot of them coming from the right side of the court, and boy, she elevates pretty high, and pretty shot.
It's old school.
Yeah.
Jesse, take a look at that shot chart right there, working from inside the arc. She didn't hit a three in this game. It's not really a big part of her game. She does her work at the rim. She does her work in the mid-range. And it's the lost art of the mid-range jump shot. But Gordy Presnell, he really allows that. That's the part of her game that she is comfortable with. She was fantastic tonight, going for 29. But yeah, it's a little bit of a throwback right there.
All right, let's take a look at the team stats from this matchup. The comparisons between Colorado State and Boise State, this was tight throughout until the fourth quarter. And rebounding, Mallory McGuire and those blue-collar players from Boise State crashing the boards in a major way, out-rebounding Colorado State by 18 in this contest.
Yeah, Mark had 13 to go along with her 11 points, 6 apiece for McGuire. Osley had 6 rebounds, that freshman, and she hit a couple from downtown. Anna Osley, in fact, she hit 3 from downtown, finished with 11 points there in that game. 51-33, huge advantage right there on the boards. Boise State, a team that lost twice to Colorado State by 20 so far this year. You wouldn't have known it from watching this game here tonight. And, of course, that was back in January. This is March now. This is the time of year when Boise State cranks it up.
Well, we'll see if they can crank it up once again. Going to take on Wyoming, the sharp-shooting Cowgirls, who upset UNLV earlier in this evening in the 7-6 matchup with a chance to punch their ticket to Wednesday's championship. And the other semifinal at 5 o'clock on Tuesday evening
chalk
here at
up
Thomas
top.
and Mack. Yeah, how about that? This will be a fun one. This will be up and down the floor, New Mexico and Fresno State. So who will be in the championship? We'll find out tomorrow in the semifinals. Once again, we will tip things off at 5 o'clock. Well, it's definitely not the same without our great fans here at the Thomas and Mack Center, but we are committed to giving you the best seats we possibly can to feel a part of the 2021 Air Force Reserve Mountain West Tournament. Make sure you're participating in the virtual game day experience. You can enter Mountain West Hoops second screen experience by logging on to mountainwesthoops.com. You can do so on your smartphone or your computer. You can watch games, participate in fan polls, trivia, and chat with fellow fans. Mountain West Hoops second screen experience is available for all tournament games. For more information, go ahead and visit mountainwesthoops.com. So we have two more tomorrow for a chance to get into the championship finals. We're going to start things off with Fresno State and New Mexico. We'll have the game live right here on the Mountain West Network. For Bridget Howard, for Nate Kreckman, I'm Jesse Kurtz saying so long from Las Vegas, where Boise State makes it 13 in a row. Good night.